Hey everybody, welcome back to homerecordingmadeeasy.com and here on my YouTube channel. In this video, we're gonna, by popular demand, you guys asked for it, so I'm gonna do it. A couple of weeks ago, I did a review or a little demo of this Warmy EQ EP1A by Kiive Audio. Go check the link in the description box if you want to check that out. And in that video, I said, if you wanted me to compare this to some other Pultec style plugins, let me know. If we get enough comments that want them, we'll do it. We got a lot of comments that says you wanted this. So this is a free EQ. So we're going to do something kind of quick here. We're not going to spend too much time on this one, but we're going to compare this to 4 or 5 of the other Pultecs that I have on a master bus and maybe on a drum bus. And if we have some time, maybe acoustic or some piano. We'll see. We're going to just compare them just to see what it is. Now, this is the free plugin. You can go download it on their website. Go check it out. Again, link will be in the description box below. So that's what we're going to do today. So before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Your first time here, go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com. I have a free mixing course right at the top of the website. There's an orange button. Click on it. You'll get it emailed to your inbox. No strings attached is my gift to you just for visiting Home Recording Made Easy. And if you stick around the end of the video, I'm going to give you something else for free. Okay, here we are in Studio One. So basically what I have, everything's in bypass mode right now. This is on the master bus. So we're going to compare, and I just kind of dialed it in quickly to say, okay, how does it kind of sound on a master bus with a track where we use the Kiive Audio SSL quick strip, the SSL emulation, to do a quick little mix, quick little balance. You can see all these plugins are in bypass mode here or off. And on the master bus, I threw on the Warmy. Dialed it into where I think it's going to sound good. We're going to compare this with the same settings to the Analog Obsessions EQ Pultec that you guys all asked me about, to the IQ Multimedia, to the PreSonus Studio One passive EQ, to the UAD Pultec, and the Pultec by Waves. There's more out there on the market, I know, but this is 5 of them. You guys could go demo the rest for yourself. So let's listen to this quickly on a master bus just to see what it sounds like. Again, the only thing that's running is the channel strip, and then I'm going to pull this up one at a time. We're going to listen to this, pull up the next EQ, go back and forth and see what you think. So here we go. So here's with nothing on the master bus. No Pultecs anywhere across the session, just the quick strip SSL. Here's kind of what we're starting with. Okay, so here's the settings. So what am I doing here? 100 Hertz, I'm boosting about 2 dB, and then we're also cutting about 2 dB at the same time, that little boost cut trick. On the top end, 12K, about 5.5 dB or so, and that's it. That's all we're doing. Now, keep in mind, now what I did was I went ahead and we have that, right? So that's what that sounds like. The first one we're going to compare this to is the Analog Obsession one, which you guys asked me, oh, what did I do here? You guys asked me about this one in the comments. I've never used this one. It's a free plugin. I'm always reluctant downloading free plugins because they always do wonky things on my computer, but so far this one's pretty good. And several of you said that this one sounds like a real Pultec. Really? I have 2 real Pultecs. I have a tube version by Audioscape and Hardware across the room, as well as the 500 series solid state Pultec. So I know what a real Pultec sounds like. Most of the people that write comments like this or like that have never even stood in the room with a real Pultec. Anyway, I'm going to kind of tell you which one sounds a little bit more like the Hardware. I can tell you right out of the gate, the Warmy is way more hype than the Hardware is, but it still sounds good. Nevertheless, same settings on this Analog Obsession. Okay, tried to do the same exact settings, tried to get them to sound as close as I could, you know, again, when this is down and dirty. So here we go. So keep your eye on the bypass button on each one of the plugins. I'm not going to put the text on the screen because I don't have time to do that. So you got to keep an eye on this. So we're going to start with the Warmy. Then we're going to shut it off and come over to the Analog Obsessions. Here we go. Okay, so right out of the gate, the Warmy's got way more top end. The Analog Obsession's got way more boom to it. Now, again, I put the dials at pretty much the same, but if you know anything about the real thing, that, you know, where it says, you know, this is on the Analog Obsessions, I'm at almost 4, it's saying 2.2, which is probably 2.2 dB. Where here on the Warmy, this is 2.5 dB, and this is at 2.5 dB. So is it really 2.5 dB? On the real Pultec, when you turn it up to 3, that doesn't mean 3 dB. Just so you know that if you don't know about the hardware. Now, again, how these plugins were emulated, I don't know. So I'm just trying to put them at the same kind of settings and see what they sound like. This one sounds, the Analog Obsession sounds way less top end, way more bottom end, right? So here's Analog Obsessions. Okay, so which one do you like better between the two? That's the thing here. These are both free, by the way. So you can get either one of these for free. Okay, does either one of these sound like the real hardware? Not really. They're close. I shouldn't say that. They're exactly the same, no. The Warmy is way more hyped than a hardware is. And the Analog Obsessions, especially on the low end, is quite a bit more boomy with very little boost, but still sounds good. Okay, so that's this one. So now let's also compare it to, oh, come on now. To the IK Multimedia. Let me bring these all back up. I forgot to put my little pin. Sorry about that. So again, same settings. This is by IK Multimedia, the EQP-1A. Let's start with the Warmy. Here we go. Okay, there's a big difference there as well. Now, again, keep in mind, and I know someone's going to write the comment, so I'll just say it. Yes, you put them exactly at the same settings. They react a little different. Can you get them dialed in so they're close enough to each other sound-wise, even though the settings would be different? Probably. And that's your job to go out and do. You could go demo all these plugins. You don't need me to do that. We're just trying to get it quick, down, and dirty. This IK Multimedia sounds more like the hardware does than this does. Is it? How close is it? It's way more subtle. The hardware of a real Pultec is fairly subtle. If you want to hear massive amounts of gain or massive amounts of change in the audio, you really got to crank it. Not so much on these plugins, but this one's a little bit closer. But they both sound good. It's whatever you like, right? There's IK Multimedia. The next one we have is by PreSonus, the Fat Channel. Okay, so this is the one that comes with Studio One Professional. So we're going to start with the Warmy, and then we'll go over to Studio One. Here we go. So goes without saying that the Studio One doesn't sound anything like the hardware. It doesn't. This is probably one of the worst Pultec emulations I've ever heard. And I love Studio One. This thing is super boomy. I mean, I'm boosting the same amount. It's super boomy. And the top end doesn't sound anything like a Pultec to me. But you get it for free with Studio One. And if you like it, that's fine. And if you wanted a little less boom, just turn down the boost and then it sounds closer. But if you put the settings relatively the same, This doesn't sound like it. Now this also too, the PreSonus doesn't have the depth of a real Pultec either. It doesn't have the width and the depth. This is my least favorite, and it always has been. I'm not a fan of the Studio One Pultec, never have been. So that's the Studio One Fat Channel. We've got 2 more to go. So here is the Universal Audio one. This is, you know, one of the more popular ones that are out there. But again, you got to pay for this one. Remember, the Warmy is free. The Analog Obsessions is free. Here we go. I think we got the same settings. Almost pretty sure we do. We're going to cut that a little bit here on this one. Okay, just to make sure we're trying to be fair and balanced the best I can. Here we go. Here's the Warmy. There you go. There's a difference there. To my ears, this sounds the closest to the hardware in the way it reacts. I always love the Universal Audio one. It's really good. Okay, last one we're going to listen to, let me put the pin on this, let me get this right this time, is the Pultec by Waves. Okay, make sure I think I got all the right settings, about the same or pretty darn close. Just double check, double check, double check. I think I do. Here we go. Let's try this one, shall we? Start with Warmy. There you go. There's the Pultec. Sounds pretty good. Again, the top end's way different than the Warmy, but it's still a good plugin. Again, that's a cheap plugin, like a $29 plugin. All right, so that's where we are. So we're 12 minutes here. Okay, let's do acoustic guitar, then we'll end this video. If you want to see me do more of this, maybe on a drum bus, on piano and stuff, again, 10 more comments in the thing saying you want another video, I'll do another one. But let's finish up this so you got kind of an idea what we're dealing with. Okay, so I'm shut off all the ones on the master bus. We'll just solo up this acoustic. Maybe we'll do that. Let's just solo this up. Okay, I took off the channel strip, so that doesn't have any compression on it. Let's start with the Warmy. Here's the settings. 100 Hertz, I did a boost and a little bit of a cut as well. Again, to do the boost cut thing. 12K, pretty good boost. Pretty broad Q. Here's the Warmy on the acoustic. Okay, pretty good. Okay, let's get out our Analog Obsessions. Here we go, same settings, pretty much, I think, pretty close. Okay, here we go. We'll do Warmy, then we'll do Analog Obsessions. Terminator's Analog Obsessions. Okay, so there you go. Both free. Again, both free. Sound a little different from each other, but they're both very cool. Okay, let's go over to the IK Multimedia. Again, same settings. Let's take a listen. We'll start with the Warmy and we'll go back and forth. There you go. This IK Multimedia surprised me both times that we've listened to it. I went, that sounds pretty good. All right, let's go to the PreSonus Studio One Fat Channel. Here we go, the passive EQ. We'll start with the Warmy. Once again, this doesn't sound anything like a Pultec to me, but that's just me. Okay, let's go to the UAD. Again, same thing. We'll start with the Warmy. In this example, I like the Warmy better. It's got a little bit more toppity top, but the UA is pretty good too. Okay, last one is the Puig Tech. Same settings. Here we go. We'll start with the Warmy. Okay, there you go. So again, the Warmy sounds a little bit brighter than all of them. Where on the master bus, I thought it's a little bit too bright. Again, compared to the hardware, the Warmy has it's a lot more hyped on the top end. But again, the settings are all going to be a little different, and every real hardware Pultec is going to be different depending on how much you turn the knobs. So again, for a free plugin, it sounds great. You know, for a free, these are paid plugins. Some of these, this Waves one is really cheap. They all sound pretty good. The one that I think just is totally horrible is the PreSonus. The rest of them sound good, and you can tweak them in and make them all sound the way you want them to sound. So that's a quick listen to the Warmy by Kiive Audio compared to some of the other popular Pultec EQs that are out on the market. Thank you so much for watching me today. Now, as I said at the beginning, I want to give you something else for free for sticking around. So go out to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, get that free mixing course, click on it. It'll be right to your email box. My gift to you. You take that course, you want to take one of my other full feature training courses, I want to give you 25% discount. Yes, I do. That coupon code that you can use at checkout is YouTube25. You put that in at checkout, it will take 25% off any training course on the website. So make sure you check out homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Also, if you want to learn the craft of mixing in a very non-technical way, perfect for beginners and intermediate mixers, check out mixingmadeeasy.net. Links will be in the description box below. We have a monthly mixing contest, and we're going to be giving away a lot of the plugins that you've seen today as part of our prize pack every single month. So until the next video, I've been Dave with homerecordingmadeeasy.com and mixingmadeeasy.net. I'll see you guys in the next video.